Welcome to Angels Talk, Soul Relationships. Here's your host, Sandra Lynch.
Hello, thank you for taking your time to stop, look, and listen in our divine appointment here today. I am Sandra, and I am so honored, so excited to be your host today and to bring to you the one, the only one, Mr. Cliff Ayers from Entertainment Network.
Right. How are you? You got it.
I'm so excited, Cliff. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your vacation to come on our show today.
Well, it's because you're so pretty, and I said, I'll do your show anytime. What about this afternoon? She said, okay, here we go.
Well, we just met this morning. We were crossing paths.
Right.
I think we're at some corner in the wonderful
Like
Allen
they say,
County
I
Public
reckon.
Library.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And one thing led to another, and here we are unfolding another show.
Well, what we were going to do, of course, is talk about this record that we just did, I'll Wait For You, which I brought back 52 years later. And, of course, the newspaper called, they says, well, anyone else, we'd have to dig him up. Because they've had the hits that long ago, they're not living anymore. But I drink a lot of chocolate milk, and that does the trick. It keeps me going, okay?
And besides, Cliff, I want the story. I want the same story that the newspaper wants.
Well, the story is, of course, it starts with World War II.
Yes.
And we started, went over there in about 44, 45, and the war, just before the war ended, we were on the Siegfried Line, and this shows about how we used to have to blow up those deals here to get our tanks across. That's what you see all the rubble there for, and that was me and Sam Carlisle standing on the bridge. And then, as soon as the war ended, we went and we formed a soldier show, not USO, it was a soldier show called Fall Out for Fun and Great Day and so forth. This picture was taken in Berlin at the Titania Palast with the band and myself. Well, I'm the good-looking one right there.
Oh my goodness, he's wearing a halo.
And so we did that, and then when I was there, I went to visited Paris while I was over there, this shows the old cars. That was 1945, and it was quite a thing. And I just went to Paris again the other day, and to the Louvre to film some things, and took a picture at the same spot. And then, after the war came back, and there I sang on a troop ship coming back, and that's me right here in the middle.
You look like Elvis Presley.
There you go. Thank you very much. And so anyway, it's quite an experience, and that was it. So that's about it. And then, of course, came back to Fort Wayne. This is my hometown, and I have some children living here. And there's Clark and Curtis and Tessa and Tina, and I come up see them every once in a while. And I've come up this time. We have a meeting. We have a dinner at the Shrine Saturday around 2 o'clock for, I guess it's 1941 graduates from Southside High. So you know I'm more than 39 years old. So anyway, it's going to be fun. So that's about it. And then so I went to New York. I came back after the war one day in Fort Wayne, bought a yellow convertible, and went to New York. And no one drives there, so I was a big hit in New York because I had that yellow convertible, you know. But I got around and modeled. I did everything to make a buck in New York. Yeah, and so finally I got in some nightclubs, and I sang at Leon and Eddie's, which was on 52nd Street, a popular nightclub. And then Sammy Kaye, different people heard me, Sammy Kaye Orchestra, so did Art Mooney. But Sammy Kaye signed me up right away, and so he got me, and so I joined Sammy Kaye at the Astor Roof. Was there for about a half a year.
There you are.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, right on the
wearing
end.
Wearing the halo.
Yeah, yeah. And sang this Sunday Serenade was a wonderful show that we had. By the way, at the same time when I don't know if I have it here.
You brought everything.
Yeah,
with
well,
you
know, you're important, and I wanted to try to impress you.
Oh, Cliff.
This here, when it was Sammy, I cut a song which became a million seller called "I'll Wait For You." No, I mean this is it's all in the game. It's all in the game.
It's all in the game?
Yeah.
It is all in the game.
Yeah.
I thought it was all
And
about
it's on.
you.
That was on Columbia.
Okay.
And there I am
Columbia
on there.
Records.
Columbia
Those are like
Records.
the 78s, right?
Well, these are 78s,
Okay.
of course.
Okay.
78s. And
That's
we sold a lot of records those days because you couldn't buy them, you couldn't download them like they do nowadays.
yeah.
And when you played that 78 for a while, you had to go get another one because it was wore out. It wore it out. So that's why records sold a lot of those days, in those days. And they broke them too. You had to go, they broke
And they
real
used
easy.
them for flying frisbees too.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what happened. Joined his orchestra. Then I left, and I got a couple little TV shows, and which is something.
A couple little TV shows.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the funniest thing. I want to tell you real quick. I have a write-up at Fort Wayne, Indiana. Wrote a thing on. I came back, and it's really something what I said at that time. Of course, this was Fireman's Son setting music world afire. What year is 19?
It says the Journal Gazette,
Yeah.
Sunday, March 31st, 1952.
That's right. They wrote that. They had a big write-up on me here in 1952. And the write-up is really something. What I say in here, it's amazing. I says people will like television. They didn't have it here as yet. No TV in Fort Wayne.
I know that because when I was
Yeah.
born, we didn't have a television in our house.
No, they had no TV here yet, and came back again after I was doing television for NBC. I did a show called, one of them called One Two Button Your Shoe, and another one was with Eva Marie Saint, and that was only on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays is when we were on TV, and it was only from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. That was the TV time that was it, about 1949 it was. And Campus Hoopla, that was the name of the show. And so in the meantime, like I say, I've got Emerald Records I formed. I haven't gotten to that yet, did I? I formed Emerald Records.
No, I think it's down
Yeah.
here. I think I saw it.
Yeah, I formed Emerald Records in the Brill Building, which of course is it's a very famous building called Tin Pan Alley, and I was there 8 years. So I liked the song I'll Wait For You, and I put it on my label, 78 label, and I really liked it, and of course it went big. And so the distributor, which was Cosnet Distributors, Jerry Blaine and so forth and so on, and they knew how well it was selling because they distributed it, but they owned Jubilee Records, which had Elie Barachi, the Four Aces, and another girl, and so they signed me up and they put it on Jubilee Records. I'll Wait For You, and it really sold big, right? And so then they Decca came and they bought it. This is of '78, but it's a small. Decca Records came and bought it from Jubilee. So here's what it sounds like. I'll Wait For You.
Living the way I've been living, lonely and only for you. Oh, how I miss you.
See, I
I wish I could kiss you, 'cause my heart keeps pining for you. Till you return to me, I'll wait for you.
That's I'll Wait For You. You like that? It's a wonderful song, and it goes on 3-4 more courses, and it just builds from there on. And we have a lot of steel in it. I went in, see those, when I cut I'll Wait For You the first time, it was on one track. And to edit something at those days, you just didn't run something back, you had to take a razor blade out and put it together.
My
And-
friend Charlie did that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then but I always loved the song, and I've recorded over 400 people on my label since I started it, and I've cut whatever they pay me to cut. But I said, I'm going to put something out again on I'll Wait For You, and I like it so much. I don't care if other people don't like it. I like it, and I want to do something that I want.
Well, and that's what I wanted to stop and ask you. What is it that makes a song? What is it? Is
You
it
mean
the song?
today
Is it
or
the
before?
Today.
Money.
Oh,
I mean,
Money.
if you look at the top 10 records, you know it's money that put it there because they're pretty bad. Bad music. And that's so sad. You know, I sing in Europe, I sing everywhere 2-3 times a year. And the music is so different, it's good. Come back here, you can't understand what they're saying, you don't understand, and the people that are doing it, you can't believe it. But that's what sells now.
Oh. Okay.
And on the top 10, I think we have one. Carrie Underwood is the only one, I think, that has got on the top 10, the one that won the American Idol thing. And the rest of the stuff is rough. But if you have enough money, I don't know where the money comes from, you can have the promotion will put it across a bad record even. They'll keep playing it, pretty soon that must be a hit because it's played so much.
Yes.
But anyway, I mean, I know I'm in this business. So anyway, I wanted to do the song that I liked and brought it back and put it on 24 track this time instead of, 1 track. And you go in the studio, put 6 musicians of myself, and then come back, and a week later I put the choir on, and then a week later I put on the strings. And it's a very good record, and we're going to probably release it in the middle of October, and the end of October we'll put the album out. That's about it.
This year?
Yeah, this year.
Single.
Yeah.
Wow.
The single first comes out, and then comes the album. The album's already cut.
So where does one find this?
Well,
Since you don't live
luckily, we don't just, here's the way they used to promote me. Look at this. This is what costs. That's a big promotion, the whole page. Decca, and Billboard. Decca used to put out the songs that I were doing, but they don't do that anymore. What you do now, it's so many ways. I'm not even caught up with it because it changes about every 6 months how you promote a product. They're trying to go everything with the internet now because but if you're not Johnny Cash, you're not going to push to find out they'll push Johnny Cash, but not Joe Schnickel Fritz.
Well, what about this? The billboards.
Yeah, well, this is on Billboard. This is when it went #1. I'll Wait For You, and as you can see, #2. You can read it off. This,
Oh my goodness, Castle Rock by Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
And The World Is Waiting for the Sunrise with Les Paul and Mary Ford. Cold, Cold Heart by Tony Bennett.
Yeah, that was 50 years ago.
How many?
50 years, probably.
50
well,
years.
Yeah, 50 years at least.
New recording star with Decca Records has appeared in May of the leading theaters and nightclubs in the country. I'll Wait For You, Birds of a Feather, When and Chances Are. This is amazing.
Yeah, well,
Amazing.
it's just like I say, at that time, if you could sing a little pretty good or so, you could make it. But nowadays, it takes money.
It takes money.
Period.
It's not about the lyrics. It's not about the...
Well, once the money's there, you have to have the product, but that's about 2-3 steps down. Once the money's there, then they know how to start in promoting it. And because a major label will they'll try to put out a record a week at least with a major star. But they really put out about 3 or 4 a week. And there's only 3 major labels left. There was about 20 at one time, not about 3. But if you got 3 times 5, that's 15 records released. And the stations can only add 2. So 12 records get dumped, even though they're tremendous, they're good records. They only have 2 records that they're going to push. That's on Billboard stations. So it's quite a game, and it's a very expensive game. But if you're persistent, they get through one way or another. That's all I can tell you. I don't want to make people think that they're going to have this or that. They just have to stick with it.
Well, Cliff, I think that our meeting today was truly a divine appointment that defined itself as we go along here today. I had no clue what that world out there in my world was like.
Yeah.
I just knew when I saw you today, you were just exuberating light. And you looked like an angel walking down the hall of the
all that
number one
chocolate
access.
milk, folks, that I drink.
Chocolate milk?
Yeah.
I didn't know angels drank chocolate milk.
Oh yeah, that's what they live on.
Yeah.
And but this is a wonderful business that takes me around the world. I sing in Cairo, I sing in Europe a lot, and
Well, is this the CD that is in other countries? The big band.
yeah. Well, this is called 1 Million Sellers from USA. Well, I sang all million selling songs. I didn't make a million seller out of them, but they became million sellers. And over there, they grabbed them because it was a million. They liked the songs, and I sang Rod Stewart recently, and he sang every song I've sung on this album. He's taken every one, and he's put them on the last 3 albums as he's had. Every song you see on here, Rod Stewart's done now, and because the people want the songs. See?
Well, you gave me this sheet here today. It's Record with the Stars with Emerald Records, and on here there's Marie Osmond, Johnny Cash, and
well, these are what it is,
Tammy
honey. No,
Wynette.
these people, all we did was promote them. They're not on my label. We have Florence Henderson on my label. You can see she's recording here with me.
Yeah, I saw that on the back.
And different people like that. And then we promoted. There's Buddy Holly and myself, and now that's before you were born.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah, 1958. That's what.
Did I tell you that? Who told you that?
But no, these are just people that we had promoted through Music Town distributors and so forth. But it looks good on paper anyway.
It looks good on paper anyway. It's real. It's live. It's here.
Yeah,
it's now.
Right. And we hope to get some more of these stars. We're talking to Debbie Reynolds right now to try to do another product. And we just like the older stars because they've got the zip.
Oh, they do?
You know, and
okay, Cliff. Well, I understand that you're going to sing us another song here today.
Yeah, we'll sing one. I'd like to sing one to you that my father loved this song for years, so you know how old it is. And it's on one of my latest albums, and it's called My Blue Heaven. And it's a beautiful song. It's an up-tempo song. And Margaret Whiting's father helped write it. I don't know if you knew Margaret Whiting.
Who that
is. She was
is.
a great singer. And the first My Blue Heaven, the guy sold, I can't think of his name, but he named his boat My Blue Heaven, and he sold millions of records, and it set him up for life. And that's amazing. I can't think of his name right now. But if they have it in the studio, we're going to try to sing it and see what it sounds like, okay?
Well, we have an amazing, outstanding angel assistant back in the sound booth. And
Okay.
if she would go ahead.
Well, here we go, okay? No rehearsal, but we're going to sing it for you, okay? When whippoorwills call and evening is nigh, well, I'll hurry to my blue heaven, a turn to the right and a little white light, gonna lead you to my little blue heaven. You'll see a smiling face, a fireplace, a cozy room, and a little nest, nestled where the roses bloom. Molly and me, baby makes three. Well, we're happy in my little blue heaven. That's it. That's a beautiful song, isn't it?
Oh,
That's it.
I just gave such a sigh.
That's a good
of
song. Well,
relief.
the good songs last, you know.
Oh, you have a
Yep.
beautiful, beautiful, angelic voice.
Well, I'm an angel. That's all
I
there's to
know
it.
it, and there's no question about it that you came here today, and we crossed paths, and I had the opportunity to expose you. I had to say it that way. I'm honored.
Well,
I'm
appreciate
honored.
being here, really.
I'm honored. I hope you can come back again. And
I will next time
Again.
I'm in town. I'll look you up because I'd like to be on the show again if you let me.
absolutely,
Okay.
you know, all of the access stations in our entire believing nation are becoming one.
Oh, they
They
are.
are.
They are really.
And I promote them because you know what? You can't go anywhere without having to pay.
That's right.
And I'm spending our tax-paying dollars.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm a
Yeah.
taxpayer, and I'm glad you're spending the money the right way. You hear me?
I think so. I often say this, I often say that, you know, what is it? Oh, it's about libraries. Libraries will get us through times of little or no money versus not having them.
You know, as I said, Southside, we graduated in 1941, and he graduated in 1940. Bill Blass. No, they give me the honor last
Bill
year.
Blass?
Yeah, Bill Blass got the honor the year before I did. But he's passed away since then. But he donated $10 million to the New York Library, and I think $10 million to another 2 libraries. Quite a guy. That shows you what people from South Side, how they turn out. Okay. And that's about it. So. It's just wonderful to be in town. As I said, I'm going to go to one of their banquets Saturday afternoon and see some of my old people. There'll be John Bonsib will be there. He used to had the John Bonsib Agency in town for years, and he was in my art class in 41 or 40. And Mrs. Doctorman was the teacher, the art teacher, and she always liked John Bonsib. I had this go on TV. I couldn't figure out, well, John's father was a very famous painter. Of course, we don't know this till years later when you get out of school, you know. And Mrs. Turkow, Fred Turkow will be there. Her name was Schwartz, Leah Schwartz when I went to school. Fred passed on right now, but his son takes care of the business now, the law business. And a lot of nice people that are still around that I'd like to see, you know, again. And so I'm glad to be in Fort Wayne again. And I hope to be back here a lot. My children live here, and don't get a chance to see them much. They can't come to see me in Nashville or New York or Fort Lauderdale because they have families, and it's hard to pick up and go, you know. So,
Like I promote this show, you are that living example of a television journeyman.
yeah, we're
Living
good
in
all
that
over.
one world,
Yeah, we
one
do,
dream.
I do breakfast time in Fort Lauderdale, and Record Row Review I do it 4 different cities, and it's shown here on your channel.
And when is it shown here on our
I think
channel?
it'll be on Tuesday nights, 8:30 to 9 or something like that. I don't know. My son would have to tell me.
Oh, okay.
But he's the executive producer of it. That's why it's shown here.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, and who's your son?
Clark.
one?
Clark Ostermeyer. That's my
Okay,
real name,
okay.
Ostermeyer, Heine. Okay. And
That's another episode.
yeah,
of
that is
Angels
another
Talk.
episode, really.
Uh-huh.
There used to be in Europe during the war. They would say, you know, I'd be singing on stage, and you'd go off stage and they say, "Ich bin Ostermeyer, ich bin Ostermeyer," because they wanted to. We had a few little black market things going on, so
Oh,
and
you
they
did.
would do it through an Ostermeyer, okay, whatever. But that was funny. Anyway, it's we have you know
We
got,
have
we
3
have-
minutes left.
well.
Let
but he
me ask
wasn't
you an
doing-
off-the-wall question,
Yeah.
one that you weren't prepared for. I sometimes ask everyone this question, sometimes. Angels at God Central Station. If Angels at God Central Station can best support you, what would that be? What would that be?
Well, I wouldn't need any more money to back me. I mean that's the most powerful thing there is. And I myself am a Lutheran, but I go to Baptist church in different cities, And in Nashville, I've gone to Baptist church down there for about 20-some years, the same church, but I'm not a member. But
Well, I need you to help me end the show. It's real important,
Okay.
real fun. And remember these words, divine love and holy kisses, and I'll call you in, okay?
okay.
Give yourself permission.
All right.
Thank you all again for taking your time to stop, look, and listen in our divine appointment here today on another fun-filled episode of Angels Talk. I'm Sandra, and we're both here to say, Cliff Ayers, divine love and holy kisses. Cliff, you were
Okay.
supposed to come in on that
Oh,
one.
okay. What do you do?
Divine love and holy
Divine
kisses.
love and holy kisses. All right.
See you next time.
Oh, how I miss you. I wish I could kiss you. 'Cause my heart keeps pining for you. I'll wait for you till you return to me. I'll wait for you. It's been so long since we parted. My days are empty.
My car's all bent up. How'd I get in this wreck? I'm in big trouble. Who's behind me? No matter where I go, what I do, what kind of mess I get in, I get over here and get all kind of mess and trouble. Who's behind me? This is a promise. All the rest of my life, I have a covering. Isn't that good? Amen. Sit down. You can't go far now.